He loved oil head massages. That was his thing. That's how he felt loved. Me, I thought they were weird, annoying actually, and in a million years I would have never guessed that giving him head massages was the key to making him feel loved. So when I did that, because I wanted to please him, I didn't do it with love. I just did it to get over with. And you know what? He felt unloved, not understood. That relationship was doomed, but not for the reasons you might think. Here's what I've learned from multiple failed relationships. Great relationships don't just happen. Some couples make it look easy, but when you actually look at why it works for them, they either learned healthy patterns from their parents who had great relationships, or they have exceptionally high compatibility. Most couples, they have chemistry and maybe moderate compatibility. And if they want something healthy and lasting, they need to learn how to build it. The biggest issue? Selfishness and needs.
We assume everyone needs what we need. We give people what we want to receive. I didn't think head massages mattered to him because they didn't matter to me. Classic mistake. In that relationship, I wanted us to succeed, so I proposed something practical. Let's make a list. What you need, what I need. Based on that, let's do our best to fulfill it. His response? Absolutely no. That would mean the relationship is an exchange. I was shocked. Yes, it will be an exchange, but aren't relationships all about exchange? Think about it. You can't even have a conversation unless each person cooperates. Answers, speaks, listen. That's an exchange. Therefore, you can't have a relationship unless both people actively participate and give something. If one stops, the relationship is gone. In my doomed relationship, we prioritize things differently. He needed head massages to feel loved and safe. I didn't. I'm a very emotional person. I needed emotional safety. That means affection, care, communication, and warmth. If someone is cold and distant and refusing to communicate when I want to solve things, which he was, given his refusal to discuss our needs, I feel unsafe, unheard, unloved, and frustrated. Long story short, we couldn't understand each other. Our needs were never met. It ended. Now let's talk about something everyone references, the 5 love languages: words of affirmation, quality time, gifts, acts of service, physical touch. Gary Chapman framework says find their love language, give them that, problem solved. Except it's not that simple. Let's take again my example. According to this framework, one of my love languages is receiving gifts. Because when I was small, my father wasn't present, so his way of showing love to me was with gifts. Once every few years, he'd show up with so many gifts. Now, as an adult, I'm still influenced by the way my father showed me love. So if you are my other half and you've traveled or I haven't seen you in a while, I subconsciously expect a gift. But here's the thing, receiving a gift will make me feel loved only if it's the right gift. My father was actually very good at this. He didn't know me well, but somehow he gave me things I really like. For me to feel loved, the gift has to be practical and something I would actually want. For example, giving me a flashy designer bag that costs a fortune, I'll consider it a waste of money and I'll feel unloved because I would think, if you knew me, you wouldn't have bought me this. When I was young and restless, maybe I would have feel loved and impressed by the gift, but now no. So my love language isn't gifts, it's the right gift. But wait, that's more. Do I like words of affirmation? Yes. Please, I'm a Leo. Tell me nice things, praise me, but not too much. I had a friend who gave me compliments constantly. I told him, when they are due, I like them. But when you're exaggerating and I don't feel comfortable. He didn't stop. I had to block him because it felt really insincere and he didn't respect my requests. Do I like physical touch? Absolutely. Holding my hands makes me feel safe and loved. So I need all these things. The right gifts, words of affirmations when they're genuine, holding hands, communication with warmth, discussing problems to grow. It's not one language. It's 5 languages plus many other things. If I need all that, how many do you need? I'm sure many too. Now here where it gets interesting. Tony Robbins identified 6 human needs that drive how we function: certainty, variety, significance, connection and love, growth and contribution. He says when someone fulfills 2 of these needs, they're an acquaintance. 3 of these needs, they're a friend. 4 needs, more than a friend. But when someone fulfills all 6 of your needs at a very high level, your brain lights up like a drug in their presence. You become addicted to that person. Most good relationships at the beginning fulfill many needs at the high level. That's why it feels so intoxicating. But here's what happens after some time. Naturally, they don't fulfill those needs at that higher level anymore. Maybe some aren't fulfilled at all. Then the relationship degrades. Why? At the beginning, you're creative. You want to win that person, so you go out of your way. You're receptive to their needs because you want them to like you. But once you have that person and their love, many people stop putting in effort. They take them for granted because they're there. Why to put in effort when there's nothing to gain? But if we don't become complacent, if we don't take them for granted, if we continue putting in the right effort and proactively fulfill the needs, we won't just have a great relationship, we'll have a raving fan. But, and this is critical, each person's needs are fulfilled in different ways. For me, certainty means you're reliable, you communicate, you're consistent, we have plans and goals together, I'm heard, I'm seen. Variety means you surprise me, maybe with a nice gift, the right one, or an adventure I would like. Someone else's version of variety may be bungee jumping or high adrenaline activities. Not my thing, but someone else's thing. I feel connection through communication, warmth, and affection in the way I like it. Not head massages, but holding hands. Each person is different. That's what you have to find out. The beginning of a relationship shouldn't be used for wooing someone and physical intimacy. It should be used for getting to know the other person and seeing if you can fulfill their needs and if they can fulfill yours. And the most important, if they want to. Because to be honest, many people don't want to fulfill anyone's needs. They want just their needs fulfilled and wonder why their relationship failed. So be aware of those people because you will never have great relationships with them. People are unhappy in relationships because their needs are unfulfilled. That's the problem. I left most of my relationships because my needs were not fulfilled. We shouldn't be beggars for our needs. When a partner has to ask for their needs to be fulfilled because you didn't care to find out what they are and proactively fulfill them, you know where that relationship is going. Fulfill someone's needs, they'll stay. Don't fulfill them, get complacent, arguments creep in. It's the beginning of the end. So how do you actually do this? Get to know them, ask directly what they need. Now, unfortunately, many people don't know exactly what they need, and also it changes over time. But what you can do is observe and pay attention to what they respond to positively and do more of that. But don't do the same thing over and over as it gets boring. Be creative. You can fulfill their need of love and connection by having thoughtful romantic dates, but their version of romantic. Variety can fulfill their needs of variety by surprising them. Football fans get match tickets. Travel fans book a trip. Find out what they like. Certainty, you can fulfill their need for certainty by communicating clearly about what they mean to you, offering consistent behavior, apologizing when you're wrong, being accountable, reassuring them that you're there and showing them that they matter. Significance, you can make them feel significant by appreciating them and highlighting what's great about them. Everyone loves compliments from their partners, especially women. I must admit, many men are terrible at this. Sorry, but I don't think men tell women enough how beautiful they are or how great they are. Growth, you can fulfill their growth need by doing things together that help you grow as a couple. Contribution, you can contribute to each other's through acts of service, appreciation, and maybe even giving back to society together. But you must know, if you don't want to give these things because the other person isn't giving them, you shouldn't be in a relationship. Relationships aren't for selfish people. If you're selfish, you'll be alone one day wondering what happened. Selfish people are never happy. Don't be selfish. Give your best, try your best, and if the other person is not cooperating by reciprocating, then you can quit, but only after you did your best, and your reward, you have learned a lot in the process. So here's what it comes down to. Relationships are places to give. The first thing to give is fulfilling the other person's needs. Certainty, variety, connection and love, growth, contribution, significance. There aren't 5 love languages. You need to give all of that in the way that person needs it. And that starts with one thing. Get to know your partner, actually get to know them. Start asking questions, pay attention to what makes them feel loved, safe, excited, significant. Because how are you going to know if you're compatible or capable of making them happy if you don't know them? You can't. So stop assuming, stop giving what you want to receive, stop expecting them to just figure it out. Get to know them, do that, and you'll transform your relationships. My best wishes to you.